Yeah, we're well into the bye week, which was much needed for many of us, including Michigan. A little bit of banged up and 6-0. Not many thought they would be here. I thought they'd drop one or two before this bye week and then go into a tough stretch, which looks even tougher now down the stretch with Michigan State looking like a pretty good team. But Michigan's got some momentum. And, Jim Harbaugh said this is a good time for a bye, though, with the bodies they have that are a little bit hurt. So perfect time for them to hit the road on the recruiting trail and regroup before the second half of the season. A couple players we talked to earlier in the week were like, yeah, I got a bunch of exams this week, midterm type things. And, it's good to catch up on that. So I think everybody kind of needed that. But the Michigan fan base has been completely galvanized by this team. And, they're excited for the second half of the year.
You got to take in the atmosphere in Lincoln. You made the trip to Nebraska. Just give us a slice of what it was like.
It was incredible. We were talking, as you know, but the listeners know, before we went on here and just talking about how loud it was, how crazy those fans are in a good way and passionate for their team, but also how nice everybody was. You hear about the kind of Midwest, I'm in the Midwest here in Ann Arbor, and Ann Arbor is its own animal, but I guess Michigan as a whole, pretty nice people, but it was nothing in comparison to the people in Nebraska. So it was kind of funny to see that dynamic play out. But I mean, when you talk about one of the bigger games in, talking to guys who cover Nebraska, the biggest game in Scott Frost's tenure with the top 10 Michigan team coming in, Nebraska had a little bit of momentum there, then it's a crazy game on top of that. The fact that it's back and forth, especially in that second half and fourth quarter, it was an incredible atmosphere. Doug Karsh, who does the sideline radio work for Michigan and is a contributor on our site, said it was top 3 environments for him in over a decade of doing it, including, that's stacked up there with the whiteout at Penn State. And Ohio State is always going to be really good for that Michigan game, but it's up there with those. So it was a great environment, a great game. Some fans I talked to said that it was some Michigan fans, because they're up 13-0 at halftime, and then they get outscored 22-6 in that third quarter, and then it's back and forth at the end. You kick a game-winning field goal after having to kick a game-tying field goal just about a minute or two before. Some fans I talked to said it was like sitting in the dentist chair getting root canal surgery done on them, just how tense and how just tough that was. But Michigan was able to gut out a 3-point win. And I said coming into this game that any sort of win in this environment against a team on the road after playing a tough road game against Wisconsin the week before would be good enough. Get into that bye, get some rest. You got Northwestern on the other side. Things are setting up pretty well. That's exactly what Michigan did. So give them a lot of credit for coming out there and doing that against a Nebraska team that I'm really excited to see in the second half of the season, because they've got a tad bit of momentum, as I mentioned, a couple moral victories in there, keeping it close against Oklahoma and things like that. But Scott Frost and this team, I feel like they think they can do some things, at least maybe get in the top half of the Big Ten West this year, make a bowl game. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But Michigan, heck of a job getting that one done. It doesn't look too pretty on paper. It's a 3-4 Nebraska team, but I think they're a little bit better than that. And Michigan's happy to get to this bye week undefeated, top 10 in the country. Certainly over-under win total was at 7.5 coming into the year. They're almost there right now.